Assalamualaikum, Prof. Thank you for your very insightful presentation today. I have two questions. First of all, as youngsters, we feel more attractive to your idea of ILBL, International Lunar Deadline. I remember you present your idea in the seminar Falak Syariah in 1990 in Bahis kerjasama dengan Persatuan Falak Syariah Malaysia. I listened to your presentation, although I cannot understand properly. So my question is, do you think that this idea of ILBL is still relevant and to the future? Okay, what the update requirement that we need to update in fulfill the needs of ILBL? The second question, Prof. Sorry, I want to ask a sensitive question. Can I? Try. You are the most prominent scholars, Islamic scientist scholars in the world. You've been awarded as a Nobel Prize. Your recognition, your contributions to the country about 50 years in Falak. Tapi why I feel you are being left out, agak ketinggalan?
No, it is sensitive.
Sensitive. It's okay. You can ask or not. Just I want to throw this question. Why that you are left out? Maybe you have to thank you, doctor.
Thank you for it, but because I didn't want to discuss technicalities of the topic, because initially I thought I'm going to only talk about renaissance of Islamic science and technology, of which Ilmu Falak is part of that as a testing ground. And so later, when I saw the program 3 weeks ago, then I realized that it is a Ilmu Falak based discussion, and then I sort of asked him, but this is science and technology. Then he said to me, maybe you can transform your presentation. So I just bring in that example of ozone and this, just to say, okay, it's a good way to reflect that, look, we can do things, we have done this in Malaysia and this. Coming to that, but since actually now I don't even give lectures about Ilmu Falak much. And if anybody is asking, I say, ask Baruddin, he knows better. So I still say to everybody that if you really need a detailed discussion about ILBL or Takwid Islam Antara Bangsa or Imkan Ruya, he has written maybe 4 or 5 books in Malay, original book. My books are really translated by Dewan Bahasa, so I cannot say that, it's a credit to me. Same as my books are translated into Arabic, but I didn't do it, 2, 3 of them. We needed this. So, but I can say this, ILBL is a concept which converges the world into a line, and a line into a small zone. And by joining with it, the concept of Ikhtilaf al-Matale, you even simplify it, meaning you don't even need sophisticated calculations. In the 1970s, when I came, even in Adelaide, I was using the new computers, mainframe computer, just introduced when I was in Australia, and I was one of the first ones to have access to a mainframe computer, CDC we were using. And then when I came to Malaysia, moved to Malaysia, Penang just installed an IBM full-fledged. And my programs used to run through the night, because they use this batch system, like you have 10 jobs, they will say we do for a while this one, then we do this for a while, then we do for a while. So this is what, so it blocks everybody else if you have a very demanding program. So I used to run my program, go home at 10 o'clock, put it into those days, you have these cards and you push it in and then it will process tomorrow morning, I will have the output. Things have changed so much. Now you can do with a small phone or with a small laptop, and people, not PhD people, it's primary people are using those facilities. Now things have changed so much. So those days we are very particular, and even I found that our IBM computer, actually I got to go to Trieste in Italy, and then I used their computer, which was even faster and smaller. And then it picked up many things that I actually missed out. So those days we were doing calculation very, elaborate, and I think if you see my book in 1984, lot of data is there and front data is there and back. But I think once we understand the concept, there is a line where it's a demarcation line where you can start sighting the moon or not sighting the moon on this side. It gives you a sort of starting point in the middle. Then you don't have to be too precise because Ikhtilaf-e-Matale takes care of that as well. Because it allows you certain zone or something within which you can. In Malaysia, for instance, Malaysia, you use this one point or one space where you calculate it, and if it reaches the criteria, it's okay. In Western. So I think the concept has now merged into like one zone and one criterion kind of thing from there. So you don't even need, ideal is the zero order understanding of where to start looking for the moon, if you actually want to see the moon. But in terms of practical application, I think then you can now already put, and this is why I feel that for this next phase, which is to converge the 5 points, we had a slide actually I had included, but then I realized maybe the time is not enough, so I have taken out some slides. I did make one big one. So we probably need indulgence of our Sharia people actually. I know. In fact, Dato Salim last year I suggested to him if he could organize a Mufti conference actually. We just look at this matter now from Sharia point and see how can we converge this. Because whether Yusuf Qaradawi, I met him in Saudi Arabia, and I think he came again in Istanbul, and he is actually now dictating the Istanbul criteria, not the science people. And they invited me, I met them, I had a one-day seminar, and they invited me. I said, if you give me space for discussing science, I will come. But if you're only going to talk about the Sharia, then there is nothing much I can do to add to that. But I did suggest to Dato Salim last year that maybe we could organize a Mufti's meeting for the region maybe, I know, 10 people or something. We can present our science sort of thing from what we understand, and then they could show us some guidance saying, oh, we could do this. Why there is a difference between Saudi Arabia using Imkan-e-Ru'ya but different, why there is a difference in Pakistan using Imkan-e-Ru'ya but slightly different, why there is a difference in Morocco using one criteria, and then Istanbul also using Imkan-e-Ru'ya but using in West Coast of America as the base point. So maybe something along that line we can probably explore, and this will do. Because things are much simpler now than we thought last time. But without IDL, there's a basic new concept that has come about, saying there is a demarcation line, which there is a structure. Allah has created a structure. It's not haphazard. It so happens that you can see here, you can see there, you can see there, but not there. Then everything is like jumbled up. Then I'm not sure how it will go. But it turned out that it was good that we didn't have this information before. Thank you very much.
Baik, kita buka lagi persoalan. Jika ada sebarang persoalan, boleh angkat tangan, perkenalkan diri dan daripada agensi tempat bertugas. Difahamkan